This is the tutorial for the villager breeder I made in my last survival episode. Shout out to Noah Mahina7671 for requesting a tutorial on it. If you're looking for more tutorials on aesthetic builds, check out my other videos. And look, sometimes tutorials can be hard to follow, or maybe you'd like a closer look in-game. Well, I'm offering world downloads and schematics for my builds on my Patreon. You can buy them as a one-time purchase or become a patron and get other perks, the most important of which is my eternal love and gratitude for helping me not starve. Some ground rules for this particular build. I didn't really design it to be put in other people's worlds. I made it specifically because of the small hill in my survival world. So if you want this for yourself, you should probably look for a similar hill or make one yourself, or use this tutorial as inspiration for your own design. In fact, I would love to see you guys make this build in your own unique ways. And keep in mind, I'm assuming a specific light source in my survival world, so you may want to change from where your light is coming from and create a different shading from mine. So just understand, your copy of this build may be different from the one in this video. The way I'm gonna tackle this tutorial is by first focusing on the shape of the house floor by floor and the actual redstone components. After that is when we'll get into detailing, decorating, and using block palettes for shading and texturing. Here are the materials you'll need, but if you like, you can ignore the grass, dirt, ferns, and some of the flowers, depending on your own terrain and decor preferences. We're gonna start off with making our 3x5 cobblestone floor. Plant one cobble ahead, and then make a floor that's 3x6. Make the middle of the edge one block lower, and then we're gonna make a 3x3 hole that's 2 blocks deep where the redstone's gonna hide. We're gonna replace all these blocks with cobble in case we can see them through the decor. Next, we're gonna pillar up 4 strip spruce logs and connect them with logs at the top. We're gonna make a base of cobble and add more cobble here for the chimney, then make walls of diorite and a wall of calcite for the entrance. We're gonna put a retaining wall here, and the top dirt block is where our second floor starts. We then extend the spruce beams and build more of the dirt out for where the farmers are gonna be staying at. Take out one spruce log and that's where the babies will fall into. Time for the redstone. We're gonna start with a dispenser and a block next to it. The dispenser shoots out minecarts onto a powered rail, 2 normal rails, then 3 powered rails, and the normal rails up to the entrance. We put 2 torches here to power the 3 rails, and then cover the area with wool so the babies don't hurt themselves on their fall. We put a temporary rail to change the powered rail, and then you can decorate the walls however you like. I just use baby blue and pink because, you know, it's a baby room. Cover up the back wall, and then place the glass so we can monitor our babies. Don't forget to stock up the dispenser with minecarts, and put a button to activate the dispenser. Next, place some cobble in the chimney wall shaped like an IKEA hand. Put some ladders on this post and make a floor of spruce slabs. The base of the tower is all 3x3 cobble walls, just leave an opening for an entrance. We're gonna extend the spruce posts by 1. Then make U-shaped calcite walls, then continue those posts with red wool. On the first floor entrance, make a small awning of slabs. On the chimney side, make a line of red wool here so that we can easier put the roof trim using mangrove stairs. On the chimney side again, make a 2 tall red wool wall and place 1 cobble to imply the continuation of the chimney. Then just continue the mangrove roof trim. Then just extend the height of the roof like this. Now place a slab here so that we can make spruce beams on top of the cobble walls. Then make an awning similar to the entrance all around the tower walls. For the slabs that touch the roof, you can replace the stairs with a block or double slabs. Then place a beam in the middle. Finish off the roof with a line of wool and planks at either end. Place your baby entrance trapdoors like this so they fall into their crib, but not the adults. Then put a trapdoor above your ladder to match it with the floor. Place some ladders on this side and put some temporary blocks in the corner. On top of those, put stripped mangrove logs, then some cobblestone and walls on top of the spruce beams. We're gonna repeat this layer 5 more times, but with 2 tall pink glass pane windows on 3 sides, the middle window being 1 block lower for some variation. For the roof, place red wool upside down tees on top of the cobblestone, then wool in the corners, a layer of wool on top of that, then 1 block in the middle, and then finally 2 blocks at the very top. Then make an edge of slabs and double trapdoors. And that's the very basic structure all done. Now on to decorating, but feel free to decorate it however you like for your own world. We're starting with the tea area with pink chairs because it's cute. We're using pickles here to look like 2 cups. Put a trapdoor to block mobs. Next is the crib using acacia trapdoors, mostly because of the vertical lines. And just keep in mind that whenever you dispense a minecart, you will have to open this middle trapdoor to let the villager pass through. Break a slab, go up a floor, and place down some carpets and a temporary block so that underneath you can put a chain. Then replace the block with a carpet. And then add an oak trapdoor to hold the item frames. Next is the cat tree, and we're replacing these floor blocks so that the tree looks like it has an actual base. As for the actual tree, you can configure this however you'd like. I just recommend placing a fence at the very top with either a carpet or pressure plate to really imply the verticality of it, especially in a place as small as this. Next is a furnace and a simple shelf above it. Put whatever you'd like. I put a cake because these babies were literally just born. Next to it, I put a cactus to remind them of the eventual suffering of life. And finally, we're on the mobile. Again, put whatever you'd like. I just put things I think villagers would like. For the second floor, take out this part of the ceiling and move it a block over. Then place a couple of banners to emulate a canopy bed. Next, place a headboard of oak plants to match the actual wood of the beds. The second floor mostly just needs general decor, so I settled on a chest, bookshelf, table, and a couple of knickknacks. If you've noticed, we're only using candles as our light source, and that's so we have the proper mood. And for the last floor, add another ladder, a spruce floor, and really whatever you want. I opted for 2 candles for mob proofing but also for ambiance. Next, we're gonna detail the front facade with a lantern for the entrance, a beam of sorts made of trapdoors, some shutters and an awning for a pink glass window, as well as a gate to shape the roof a bit better. On the other side, we're gonna do something similar except we're decorating with a window plant box with plants that match our roof. Place a lantern for the tower entrance as well, and don't forget to put down some composters for your farmers. Place some temporary blocks on top of the gable roof so you can put your hanging signs, then under them some trapdoors. And then a gate, fence, and lever for an angled shape. It helps that the lever matches our cobblestone tower. Next, some plant boxes and awnings for the tower windows. We'll finally finish this chimney using stairs, walls, and different blocks to make it more interesting. I've shaded it darker at the base and lighter near the top because that's where most of the sunlight is going, but the very top walls are deep slate to show how much soot has been left. Top off the tower roof with a wall, fence, and lightning rod to make it extra pointy. We're now on to texturing and shading. I will start with the white blocks. This is the gradient we'll be working with, and we've chosen white terracotta as our darkest white because it hues close to pink, and all our white blocks are next to our red roof. You'll notice diorite isn't included here, and that's because it doesn't necessarily fit with this gradient, but also because where we've used diorite, there won't be much need for texturing or shading. Because of my own light source in my survival world, I've chosen this side to not be as bright as the other, and so we'll be replacing most of the calcite with mushroom stems and white terracotta. Where we've chosen to keep the calcite is where ample light is being reflected off of. As for the other side, we really only change out 2 blocks. Now we'll go over our stone palette, and we're using the same blocks from the chimney aside for deep slate. We'll finish off this retaining wall with stairs and slabs, and decorate the front entrance by making the corners darker and greener to blend a little better with any surrounding grass. For the entrance, we'll change out this cobble for tough because it looks dirtier, and then simply change the block closest to the lantern with our highlight block. The sides of the tower will primarily be cast in shadow due to my light source and the surrounding foliage we'll put there eventually. We're using our highlights here because we're assuming this is where our sunlight is gonna shine brightest, but directly under the roof, we're using our darkest blocks to imply a shadow from the eaves. And then at this point, I'm just shading and texturing based on our lighting and where we'll put our azalea leaves. Now onto our red palette. We're simply doing the same thing as before. And we have this stack of nether wart to look like the chimney's shadow. We're gonna place our azalea leaves to really hammer home the garden aesthetic of this build. You're basically just making droopy lines to make the foliage look like it's creeping up the tower and hanging wherever there's no support. And now I'm just making a rough estimate of what our surrounding terrain could be like, and again, you can shape this however you want. And you're done, but if you want to be a little bit more extra, you can place some red glass panes on the tower roof to help shape the slope better, and it'll look better from far away. I don't recommend doing this for the gable roof, however, because it's close enough to the ground in your point of view that it'll just look weird. Don't forget to actually make a garden of carrots surrounded by fences and walls for your farmers. I made a stone path of waterlogged slabs to hydrate the farmland. Once all this is settled, you can finally put in your farmers and trade with them at least once to lock their profession. To speed up the process of them breeding, give them stacks of carrots and only carrots. Potatoes can be a waste because there's a chance a planted potato will be poisonous. Wheat and beetroot make seeds, and that can fill up a farmer's inventory instead of actual food, and that'll stop villagers from breeding. So there you go, your very own Tower of Love. I hope this tutorial was useful and that you learned something new from it, and you can be rest assured that your farmers will be very, very happy with their new home. Have a great day, thanks for watching.